I'm going to throw a little wrench in the order of our meeting, our agenda. We're gonna put something in between 1 and 2. We're gonna from now on say the Pledge of Allegiance to start the meetings. So at this time, if you'll please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Everybody has the minutes from the January 2nd meeting. Any questions or concerns? If not, entertain a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve and suspend the meeting.
Motion by Wolf.
Second.
Second by Hack. Discussion. All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. Approval of the agenda. Any changes or additions to the agenda? Let's have Mike at 4B. And then get out of here.
We'll just make that my report then too.
Okay. Anything else?
Make a motion, we accept the agenda with the addition of Mike on 4B.
Okay. Motion by Pillar. Second. Second by Stern. Discussion. All in favor of the agenda say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. All right. 4A, 2018 street project. Mark, come on up and roll up a chair if you need to.
Well, what I have to report is that we are finished with plans and specs. All of the ads in the paper on Friday, so the ads will be out this Thursday. And I believe they'll run for 3 weeks. We're going to open on the 8th of February here at 4 o'clock. That's what I have.
February 8th at 4. Huh?
I believe that's what we came up with last time.
Yep.
And then I guess just one other item to mention, I contacted Pat earlier today. There's going to be some areas in the plan where we will potentially need some temporary construction easements, just due to some of the work that's going on in that area, whether it's the ADA ramps or whatnot, as far as encroaching, like with the parking lots, for example, the football lot and the All Seasons Arena. Those I don't believe are city property, so it's just something that we'll have to address at some point, in the near future. So Pat, I don't know if you had a chance to look at any of those or think about that at all, but like I said, I just brought it up to him earlier today.
Along those same lines, I did talk with Peace Lutheran Church, and they are, visited with their buildings and grounds people too. So we need, according to Pat, we need an easement on both sides of that building where we are using it as a street right now. So that's
Right.
Was that one of the spots you had? Okay.
So when you call it a temporary easement, what's that mean?
That just gives the contractor permission to go on to somebody else's property to do the work.
Okay.
And then once that work's over, the easement basically is no longer.
Some will need to be more permanent.
Right. Like the church one.
The term temporary caught me off guard.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
The construction easements will be temporary.
Gotcha.
That's right. And you did put Elbowoods down as an alternate?
Correct.
Okay.
David is an alternate, not in the base.
So what else do you need from us at this time, Mark?
I don't think anything at this point, that's what I have to report. We'll see how the bids come in and go from there. Unless you have any
Questions? Questions for Mark? Strathers, did you have anything?
Yeah, I just have one thing. Is there, last I've seen, any sort of drawings or specs on the elbows, or there weren't any bid items listed with it? Or what are the bid items associated with that work?
We do have those items. Monty had asked for them earlier last week, and I said we were finishing things up, so we have those now. Do you want me to send those to you, Monty, and you forward them on?
Because the bid items, that's where the specs for that work are referenced. And without the bid items, there are no specifications for that work. And I guess, as a resident looking forward to paying $20,000 to $40,000 for this work, you can see why I'm concerned that we're publishing something in the paper now to bid on when we do not have the specifications for it. None of us know what they are. I would venture to say none of you do, and I'm not trying to be smart with it, it's just a fact.
Sure. So Mark, can you enlighten us of what some of the items might be other than actually tonnage of asphalt? And I'm assuming we have some dirt work there too. And then we also have the stubs. The stubs.
The water,
Yeah.
yes, the water and sanitary services. What do we have on here? We have excavation, embankment, erosion control, asphalt, tack coat, valley gutter, geotextile fabric, geogrid under the pavement, seeding, hydromulch, sanitary water services, remove existing gravel. Yeah, it looks like one curb stop, one corporation stop, a little bit of storm sewer culvert.
Can you enlighten us on the borings up there?
The borings actually came back pretty good. I think they'd indicate that the gravel was thicker there than what we were anticipating. So they didn't find that groundwater was very deep. So there's no real groundwater to speak of.
Good.
So the borings came back.
So we're not gonna peel the gravel off and we find a bunch of wet clay underneath and we gotta do a lot more excavation and.
According to those borings, no.
And I saw you did it at the bottom and at the top. Is there one?
Well, it's kind of like at the third point, or
Right,
quarter
okay.
point, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Is that kind of what you're looking for more, Mr. Edwards?
Yeah, excavation and embankment, for example, references a specific section of the North Dakota specifications for roads and bridges. I don't know what that number is. I don't know, Mark, if you know what it is, but we need that in order to look up the specs, so we know what's being built.
Yeah, and
And
I
all
can
of these-
provide all that.
All of these items that you mentioned reference specific things that we dole out money for.
Mhm.
We don't know what they are.
And we don't know what they're gonna cost either. But when we get when the bids come back, they will be listed individually with the itemized price beside
But
it.
I think that's, and I understand, but I guess I'm talking about knowing what we're buying before we.
Well, like I say, I'll get all that information to Monty and he can pass it along. And the bid opening is 3-4 weeks from now, so I mean, there'll be plenty of time to research that. And anything else we can provide you to help.
Any other questions, Casey?
I know early on, we talked about, I guess the cost sharing of the parking lot by the LC's arena and the football field.
Yep.
Has there been any kind of further, I guess, talks about?
Just the entities I've talked to, which encompass all of them, said that they are very interested to see when the bids come back, and that's the same time that they'll make their determination as we will, if that's something we want to take on or something they want to take on.
Okay.
So it's, yeah. That's all until we know more hard dollars. So, yeah. Okay, anything else?
No. Thank you.
Fantastic. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Mark.
All right, thank you.
You bet. 4B, Mike Freilich. Can you give us, come on up. Jason had you come in.
Yeah, basically, Jerry, this will include my report. I just want Mike to enlighten us on was it last week's Thursday? Just brief, and then what the status is of the plow, and then where you guys are at with moving snow, basically.
So you want like a report on the accident itself?
No,
Okay.
just let,
Okay.
basically we
I
had,
don't know if everybody knows, but I was blading in Third Avenue on my way towards Divide, and a car came from the north and slammed into the blade and caused a lot of damage. I think Jerry took the cylinders down to Bismarck. We weren't sure what was wrong. Once I got back in the loader, stuff wasn't working. It wasn't keeping, the blade wasn't staying locked. So we thought we had a leak. Further inspection, found a leak, it blew out one of the couplers. And then when I got hit, the blade was angled and it hit the front side. And on further inspection, we noticed some welds were broke, and then a half-inch steel, the back of the blade was sheared off. Took it to Hazen Welding right away, get them working on it, and explained to them about cylinders. I think Dave talked to everybody, and it was decided that they needed to get checked out with some that Hazen Welding didn't feel comfortable or couldn't do. They were gonna rebuild the blade, do what they could, and we took the cylinders to Dakota Fluid and Power down in Mandan. I talked to Terry today, the guy down there, and one cylinder, the seals were completely blown out from the impact, and that's fixed, ready to go, and that was $375. But some of that cost is for the other cylinder, taking it apart to see what was wrong. That cylinder, the piston on the inside is completely broke. So it's another $695 to finish fixing that, so it'd be a total bill of $1,070. So we do have a cylinder at the shop that will work, but we like to keep it on hand for cases like this. If one goes down, then we can just switch it out and get back to blading. So I guess it's up to you guys to decide, because it's over $1,000. That's why Jason wanted me to come in. The one cylinder's done. I believe Dave's coming back tomorrow. I don't know what time he's coming to Bismarck, and then he can probably pick that one up. I explained to Terry that I was coming to a meeting tonight. You guys will make a decision tonight or tomorrow to let us know if he needs to continue working on the other one. Talked to Tyler down at Hazen Welding. He had to cut out some metal and just throw it away because it was so damaged, and the frame where the loader connects was bent. So that piece is gone. Some of the welds they were able to fix. I will know more tomorrow on what the price of that's going to be, but I'm sure it's not going to be it's just metal and labor. So that's pretty bad right now.
And you were at a stop. You were at a standstill with you.
Yeah, I was blading the center, and I seen her come off the hill, and I was continued blading. There was a car that just come through the three-way and was driving along the curb real slow. She had plenty of room. I realized she wasn't getting over, and I started to get towards the curb, and she was still coming. She crossed the line, like she wasn't sure where to go, and when she hit me, I was stopped against the curb. I sent pictures to Monty. You can see the curb line, and she hit me probably 2 feet onto the blade, and when she hit me, back end went up, came down, landed like that, airbags deployed. And for that half-inch plate steel to shear, I don't know how fast she was going, but it wasn't no 25 with the speed limit was.
And you were seatbelted in to the loader? You weren't hurt?
No, I was, like I said, I was stopped, and it's a pretty big machine to,
Yeah.
it was a pretty good jar, but that's about all it was.
I guess kind of where we're at, I'd like to proceed and fix those cylinders and whatever it's gonna take to bring that plow back up to 100%, so. We don't have a physical quote for this, but since it's over 1,000, I make a motion that we fix it up to, what'd you say, 1,000?
Well, 1,070 is what Terry told me, for the.
Give or take, I'll just say $1,200. If it's 1,200 or less, go ahead and proceed.
And then I don't know what the bill, Tyler said he'll have it 90% complete tomorrow, and he'll have a better idea how much metal he put in his cost for, I don't know what half-inch metal, and it was probably a piece like that, and the rest is just gonna be labor. I can't imagine it's gonna be over the
And I don't-
$1,000, but
Well, if we don't fix it,
Yeah.
then we're down a plow.
Right.
And then all it loader's good for is the snow blower.
Yeah. Monty, I don't know if we need a motion for that.
And
since
it's
it was
nothing on the loader,
Right.
it's just the blade attachment. Is what it is.
I'll second Jason.
A motion by Hack and a second by Pillar. More discussion? Roll call.
Aye.
Pillar.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Overall.
Aye. Motion carried. And how you guys doing? Moving along?
That's right.
What we did have Wind Road is off the street. So North Star 1 and 2 were done today. We got Christmas done last week. When we finished North Star 1, and we started on 2nd and got everything around this area done. There's been no cleanup windrows, it's just the initial windrows off. And then over by your house, there's a big pile in the street, we got that off. And there's a couple other where people cleaned out their driveways that hadn't been plowed, but we picked that mess up. I guess the plan tomorrow is, we were either gonna continue from 4th over to the hospital, but being the next day is garbage, we didn't want the windrows and slow the garbage route down, so we think we're gonna start Friday's route, so we wanna start doing any blading that we need to do south of Maine and in Huber. And then when we get that done, then we'll probably jump back to Wednesday since Monday route's pretty good.
What did I see? Is it Thursday or Friday supposed to be 38, 39?
It's Wednesday now, so
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah.
Which will help, because that's gonna loosen, because a lot of stuff got driven on.
Yeah.
Because we got a couple inches, not enough to plow, and then we get dump 3, that gets packed, when now you have this much packed.
Yeah.
The maintainer can get it up, some, the angle blades, it's a little hard to put down pressure.
Yeah.
But once the temp comes up, then that stuff will break up.
Okay.
And it's going a lot quicker this year because there's not as much moisture in the snow, so the snow blower goes a lot faster, and of course, the roads aren't as wide. Last year, it was taking 4 to 5 trucks for 1 block, and now we're doing a block and a half with one truck. So,
The garbage truck running good today and everything?
as far as when we got back at 10 to 4, the garbage truck was already there, so they kept up time.
Okay. All right.
The check engine light did come on again, but I think when we had that 25 below weather, because it's got that regen system, that start and stop, it wants to run, and then it shut down on Berry, but then they got it running again, wow, that check engine light's on again, and that's all that regen mandate every time they plug it in their computer locks up, so they might have to think about just getting it to the actual Mac dealer, either like Dickinson's where we usually go, so it's closer to the park.
Do those guys have a portable computer they can come out here, so we're not taking there, we're down a truck for a week, or?
That I don't know. And a lot of those companies that are willing to come out, they wanna have 3 or 4, like when we deal with RDO equipment in Bismarck or Bobcat, it's usually, they will come when they have other deliveries or other services.
Something to maybe
It's
check
something
on.
to check on.
All right, thanks, Mike. Any questions for Mike?
Not for Mike, but, what's the city insurance collision policy on equipment like that?
It's just
Is it
under the,
deductible or?
Yeah.
How
we're only at $500 deductible.
high? 500? Is a claim then?
Yes. Claim was submitted Thursday.
Okay. So the 1,200 may not be,
Yeah,
you may only.
well, we'll have to spend it now, but
You'll
we'll get
spend it.
reimbursed.
Right.
Okay. 5, request of citizens, we have 2 raffle permits, one for English Lutheran Church for the youth group, and for Hazen Land Club.
Motion to approve both.
Okay, motion by Hack to approve
Second.
both raffles, second by Wolf. Discussion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you. And 5C, free and reduced hall rent for Scottsdale Medical Center Hospice Group.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Hack to approve hospice to have free and reduced rent,
Second that.
second by Pillar. Discussion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. 8A, President's Report. I will just mention that I did visit with Bob Johnson. He is the president of the Church Council of Peace Lutheran Church. And I'm sorry, he is on their buildings and grounds. Ricky Scheid's the president. Try to see if he can come to the meeting tonight. He's not able to. Apparently that where the concrete is heaved up by those big poplar trees, Tim Schwartz did catch out his blade the other day. And sounds like it's getting worse. So I know when I talked to John Dahl, they were gonna cut those poplars down here a week or so ago for that snow came, but kind of been put on hold. So I'm not sure when it's gonna get that on the schedule for you guys to tear those trees down, but that is Mrs. Smith did give permission to take them down. So under advisement of Pat, we need to get an easement on both sides of the church. Or else at some point the church, they could just put up barricades for us to not use those streets if they want to. And that won't happen, I'm sure, but we might as well get this done and recorded properly. Pat, does that need to be replatted or anything then if there's an easement there? How does that, how long of a process is this gonna take to do this, you think?
It doesn't require replatting, but it will have to be legally described somehow. So
Okay.
that, likely the surveyors will have to be involved, or if they can get off the drawings that have already been compiled, they can describe the two streets, but it has to have a legal description, including its square footage.
Is that the one Ken Link did?
This is the one that Ken Lake did, just to
Okay.
show what's.
All right. Okay, when I talked to Bob Johnson, he didn't think there'd be any issue. He said, we'll sign off on it tonight, he said. I said, well, I don't think it's that easy, Bob.
Yeah, his,
He said their church council will probably,
Ken Lake should probably be
Yeah.
involved in
Yeah.
describing that.
and their big board doesn't meet until the first Tuesday of every month, so. The other thing I noticed last night on the news, I like this idea, City of Bismarck is doing an adopt a hydrant. And when they first started talking about it, I didn't know what that meant, paint it or, dress it up or whatever, but basically, in Bismarck, they're asking the citizens that live on those blocks that have fire hydrants to keep them cleaned out and shoveled away from. And I think in our community, that'd be a nice, I think some people do that.
That was tried.
What's that?
That was done several years ago.
Was it? I think we would try it again and remind people that that would be nice. It's, luckily we don't plow all of the snow to the side of the road, so it builds up a big, ridge in front of the hydrants, but, they might want that hydrant more accessible if there's a fire in their block or their own home, so just a nice reminder to people. I suppose that'll be in our minutes.
I'll send out some information from the last time.
Okay. All right. But I thought that was a nice way to ask the community's help to do that. And that's all I had. Water, sewer?
Nope.
Anything else? No, Jason, you're good?
No,
Okay. Finance, busing,
Nothing at this time.
thank you. Police, fire, forestry,
Nothing at this time.
and Buster is not here, so no HCD report. 9A, designate city bank depositories. Monty?
Again, this is a process that has to be done every even numbered year. We've always designated the Union State Bank, Union Bank, Capital Credit Union, Knife River Branch, and as I indicated in the notes I sent to you, we need to include Bank of North Dakota because they hold the pledges of securities for all of our certificates of deposit.
We need a motion.
Yes, please.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Wolf,
Second.
second by Stern. Discussion. Roll call.
Wolf,
Aye.
Stern,
Aye.
Keller,
Aye.
Hack,
I,
Obenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. That takes us down to 11A, flex benefits account. Monty, you want to talk about
And
that?
another one again, we changed our flex provider in October when we were up for renewal. They handle things a little differently than our previous provider, whereby rather than sending them the payroll that's withheld every 2 weeks, we hold it here. When claims are made by an employee, they invoice it and take it out automatically from our account. Visited with the auditors, they said your best way to handle that would be to actually issue that check every payroll period, put it into a separate account, and then have them withdraw from that account. And that would make the accounting for it, the ins and outs, a lot easier for the auditors to track at the end of the year then. So basically, I'm asking your permission to go to Union State, set up a new account.
And we just put the budgeted amount of money or whatever into
Whatever
it.
whatever the employees have designated that they want into their flexible spending account. It's actually all employee money.
And the city does like we do at the plant, that all the money goes in there right away at the beginning.
Okay, we need a motion for, have Monty go set that account up.
So moved.
Okay, motion by Pillar,
second.
second by Hack. Discussion. Casey.
So then, how much of a biggest deposit are we gonna have to make in these? It's gonna be like under,
It's like 1,390.
5,000.
Yeah, yeah, it'll be, we have 3 employees participating, so it's less than 5,000. Yeah.
So that being a use it or lose it type program, at the end of the year, monies that are left in there,
They'll remain there for a certain period of time because they do have a grace period where it can be used after the year.
through March or something like that for the previous year. Okay. And then what would happen to any funds that were left in there after that grace period?
After reading IRS guidelines, that can go directly to the general fund.
Okay, we have motion and second, any more discussion? Roll call.
Pillar.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Stern.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Motion carries. Down to 12, approval of the bills.
We'll need a couple more on your desks.
Move to approve the bill.
Motion by Stern,
Second.
second by Hack. Discussion. Roll call.
Stern.
Aye.
Hack.
Aye.
Wolf.
Aye.
Pillar.
Aye.
Omenauer.
Aye. Motion carried. Thank you all.
So does Mr. Olson just bill